Good evening, our esteemed viewers. Welcome to News Hour here on Imani Television. This is the #1 TV station that builds your faith in Jesus Christ. I hope you had a lovely day and a weekend. Now, the government has stepped up the efforts to fight against illicit brews and alcoholism, which gives hope to the country's labor force. The efforts have also trickled down to the local citizens, who are now building up the efforts towards eradicating alcohol consumption. To get more of this news, we'll be heading back to our bulletin to find out more. But as we begin our bulletin, you can leave us your feedback through any of our social media handles at Imani Television on Facebook and as well on YouTube. Or you can also SMS us through our SMS line appearing on your screen. I also remind you to visit our adorable website, that is at www.imanitv.org, in order to follow up our news as well as other programs. But right now, let's explore our top stories this evening.
Hawatausiwa sumu na mtu ikisemekana ni pombe. Mabaa haitafunguliwa mchana na usiku. Ile mabaa ambayo iko na leseni ifunguliwe saa 11.
And we know one of the issues was on the CBA, and we agreed that it be progressed with the conciliator. As a ministry, we also discussed with the union on the progress on matters that are solely lie within the Ministry of Health. Because from the matters that they raised, there are those that should be handled by the Ministry of Health.
To increase the aim of these interventions is to provide houses to low and middle income and create employment for over 1 million Kenyans. To support implementation.
Hii kazi lazima nifanye, nitafute marafiki. Huyu jamaa alikuwa ananipebanga na taksi huyu. Tukikuwa taoni hii, tukisunguka taoni hii. Alikuwa customer yangu sana.
The police has no problem. The police cannot patrol without fuel in the vehicle.
Yes.
The police cannot patrol without any facilitation. You cannot tell me that the whole of Siaya, you have few patrol police stations.
Welcome to the broadcast. My name is Barasa Saenyi. Now, President William Ruto convened a meeting with the Facebook management team on monetization at State House today. During the consultative session with Meta, President Ruto revealed that Kenyans would begin monetizing their content on Facebook and Instagram by June this year. The announcements were made by Nick Clegg, the Facebook's president of global affairs, during his speech at State House. President William Ruto also voiced his support for plans to introduce monetization on M-Pesa, thereby positioning Kenya as one of the few countries in the continent to offer this feature. Let's begin our bulletin with this news.
I've now gotten a commitment from Clegg and the Meta team that by June, all our creators will now have an opportunity to really monetize everything that they do in that space, put ads, make sure they can access Instagram, commerce around it, and it speaks to our bottom-up economic transformation agenda on making sure that we give everybody a chance right from the bottom. And I am very happy that this is moving in the right direction. I want to encourage Meta Group. If we can do it before June, somewhere in the middle here, it would be a very welcome surprise to many of these good people. As you can hear them speak, they are very eager. They are already in that space. And the very positive thing I keep hearing from the people in the digital space, they keep telling me, you know, we're going to make this much money minus tax. It's going to be so much. I'm very happy that everybody is now becoming conscious about making sure that we pay our taxes, because it's the only way we can sustain and maintain our independence as a country. And I want to thank Meta for offering to consider Kenya for some of the BPOs that will be trying to find a home. I want to tell you that we are reworking the legislation in Kenya to make it much more easy for people who work in the BPO space to be able to work with Kenyan young people. As you look for homes for some of the opportunities, I want to welcome you to Kenya. We have a very knowledgeable, very well-trained, educated, very good English, hardworking, innovative, creative young population in Kenya that can take up.
Now, onto this alcoholism story now. The Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has stated that the government will continue to put in more efforts in the fight against illicit alcohol. Speaking in Kapsabet during the ordination ceremony of Bishop Moses Serem of the AIC Church, Nandi Diocese, Gachagua warned that security and administrative officers found undermining these efforts will face consequences to ensure that the places selling alcohol illegally remain closed. Let's listen in.
Hata hawatausiwa sumu na mtu ikisemekana ni pombe. Mabaa haitafunguliwa mchana na usiku. Ile mabaa ambayo iko na leseni ifunguliwe saa 11. Wale wanataka kutumia watumie saa 5 waende wakalale. Hii ya kukunywa mchana haiwezekani. Hii ya kukunywa mpaka asubuhi haiwezekani. And I want to thank the county commissioner and your team for the good job you are doing, na muendelee. Na sisi tumeamua kama serikali hakuna county commissioner, hakuna OCPD, hakuna OCS, ataenda transfer.
Now, moving forward, the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration, Professor Kithure Kindiki, visited Kitale Town in Trans Nzoia County today, where he convened a consultative forum with the county heads of security agencies, including the Kenya Prison Service. During the forum, he directed them to intensify the fight against narcotic drugs, illicit alcohol, and substance abuse. He emphasized the need to track down premises and spaces used in the manufacture, distribution, sale, and consumption of these substances, as well as to combat general crime and promote government programs in the county. Additionally, Professor Kindiki announced the government that the government is relocating Kitale Prison, that is the Kitale Medium Prison, from the town center to facilitate structured, well-planned urban development in the town. Let's listen in.
Isn't it? Everybody wanted that one. As you are aware, on 6th of March, we announced a nationwide crackdown on those who are manufacturing, distributing, transporting, and selling drugs, illicit alcohol, and psychotropic substances. That nationwide crackdown is a security enforcement operation, and as I said before, it has no time limits. We will continue with it until the problem of drugs, illicit alcohol, and psychotropic substances is eradicated in our country. We have placed the problem of drugs, illicit alcohol, and psychotropic substances as one of the priority national security threats, and we are clamping down on all unlicensed premises and destroying their capacity to manufacture poison to sell to the people of Kenya. We are also we have already revoked all licenses across the country that were issued contrary to national law, which demands that alcoholic premises or premises selling alcohol must not be close to education facilities and other parameters that are provided for in the law. That program is going on well across the country, including here in Trans Nzoia. We are in the process of transferring all the officers who have overstayed, including officers here in Trans Nzoia. All officers who have stayed for more than 3 years must leave. And that is not a request. It is not a human resource matter. It is a national security matter. They must leave without exception. I have directed the county security team to make sure they collect data. And the problem of state officers is not at the senior command level. It's mostly at the junior level. And those officers must go to other parts of the country in line with government policy.
All right, now we move forward, and the Health Cabinet Secretary Susan Nakhumicha has said that the ministry will post the required interns by April 1st, 2024, saying that the doctors collecting vacating documents to begin as early as this week to prevent a health crisis in the country, following the doctors downing their tools. This is after the Cabinet Secretary meeting with the KMPDU officials in Nairobi to discuss the current stalemate, which caused a nationwide strike. The doctors, through their union, KMPDU, had vowed to continue their strike until their demands are met. Let's listen in.
To give the conciliation the information that they need, so that then matters can be progressed. And we know one of the issues was on the CBA, and we agreed that it be progressed with the conciliator. As a ministry, we also discussed with the union on the progress on matters that are solely lie within the Ministry of Health. Because from the matters that they raised, there are those that should be handled by the Ministry of Health, and there are those others that we agreed they move on. So for the matters that need to be handled by the Ministry of Health, I'm happy to report that as a ministry, we have made very good progress. And one of the issues was on the internship program. So we have agreed that they are going to participate in the review of the internship policy that is currently ongoing, chaired by the DG, Director General, that they are going to participate fully, so that then we review that internship policy, we ensure that it is aligned to universal health coverage, and it addresses all the emerging issues that we have had. But most importantly, we have also briefed the union and agreed that we have now received a confirmation from Treasury, and beginning 1st of April, which is in 2 weeks' time, we are going to begin posting of all the interns. The other matter that we have discussed and reached an agreement is on the CBA, collective bargaining agreement, that lapsed. So we have agreed that the ministry will proceed with the negotiations, because the status as it is that they had written to the ministry, and the ministry had written back to them with a counter offer. But both parties were yet to sit at a table. So we have agreed that within this week, the ministry then calls for a meeting, so that then matters that are in the CBA can be addressed and negotiations begin. We have also discussed and agreed on the arrears pending for registrars, that the Principal Secretary in charge of medical services, Mr. Kimtai, is going to take lead and have a discussion with the universities, so that a reconciliation is done of all the outstanding arrears. And equally, we have received commitment from Treasury on availability of resources. So once that reconciliation has been done, the Principal Secretary is going to ensure that all the outstanding arrears are paid, so that they do not affect the next examination scheduled between.
Now, the Union of Teachers of Students with Special Needs has called on the government to provide them with more privileges and improve the learning environment in schools that cater for the disabled. The Secretary General of KUSNET, James Torome, has urged the government to convince the Parliament to allocate 5 billion shillings to enable teachers to effectively teach in these schools. Currently, the teachers receive a monthly stipend of 10,000 Kenyan shillings. Let's listen in.
There is non-payment of special salary by Teacher Service Commission, and we are urging now the Teacher Service Commission. These allowance have stayed for over 10 years. So we want 2024-2025 financial year that allowance to be increased from 10,000 to 20,000. That's the voice of teachers of Kilifi and the country at large.
Hawa wabunge wetu tunawaomba kwamba wabunge katika nchi hii yetu ya Kenya wakaweze kuongea pale kwa kutetea swala hili la watoto walio na ulemavu, wakaweze kuona kwamba pesa zimeongezwa ili wale walimu wanapopewa nyongeza ya mshahara basi wataweza kuwashughulikia wale watoto vizuri. Pesa zinazotolewa ambayo ilikuwa 1 billion, hiyo haitoshi kwa sababu.
Now, we're switching gears here, and political leaders from Baringo County have called for political sobriety in the wake of rising cases of heckling of political leaders in political rallies. Speaking while attending a church fundraiser in Baringo North, the Cabinet Secretary Simon Chelugui and area member of Parliament condemned politicians on a special function to push for their selfish interest instead of addressing the needs of citizens. This comes where supporters of the Bomet governor clashed with the supporters of the Bomet senator. Let's watch this.
Ni haibu sana kuona watu wa sehemu hii wakirushiana maneno na kukosea Mheshimiwa Rais heshima. Hiyo maneno ni haibu kubwa sana. Wakaaji wa Bonde la Ufa, tafadhali tuweze kuvumiliana haswa mambo ya kisiasa.
Let us have what is called political. What I saw yesterday, the other day in Kericho, what I also saw in Bomet, emerging fissures of political intolerance. We must stop this political, embrace unity for the people of Kenya, so that we can be able to change this country, so that we can be able to implement the president is working day and night to ensure that we develop Kenya.
Kwa Kericho ama sehemu hizo zingine ambaye rais wetu alienda. Hiyo sio tabia na kimila ya kika. Na naomba kwamba wale wanasiasa wasitumie mikutano ya rais mamlaka yao na network yao ya kisiasa. Ngojeni mpaka 2027. Hiyo ya Rift Valley hatuna tabia kama hiyo.
Now we're still on matters leadership, and women leaders from northern Kenya are rallying behind a united front to uplift and improve the welfare of women in their region. Under the Northern Kenya Caucus, women leaders headed by Umi Bashir, the Principal Secretary for State Department of Culture and Heritage, giving priority to collaborations that amplifies women voices at both local and national levels. We have Lynn Simatwa reporting for this news.
Women leaders from northern Kenya are emphasizing the need to cooperate in elevating and enhancing the well-being of women in the region. Led by the Principal Secretary for the State Department of Culture and Heritage, Umi Bashir, and under the newly formed Northern Kenya Women Leaders Caucus, these leaders have recognized the importance of unity in advocating for women's interests at both national and local levels.
We as women beg to be at the seat of the table, to have a seat on that table. But I think there's unity in numbers, there's power in numbers. And the fact that we have decided, let's come together as women of the North and unite. The first step is today. We have taken this step. I don't want to leave anybody behind. I want to go with all of us, okay? You are part and parcel of our story. And the story of Northern Kenya will not be told by one person.
And women, I think we can move mountains. And I think this should be the beginning. Omi, thank you, and I congratulate you for that.
We don't have a single governor. We don't have a single constituency MPs. It's up to us to hold our hands, come to the table and fight for these positions. There is no position that will be given while sleeping.
At a dinner held at Serena Hotel, graced by Tessie Mudavadi, the wife of Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, they deliberated on strategies to demolish cultural and gender biases at grassroots level.
I look at the women from Northern Kenya. They make a lot of political noise. You are strong, you are smart, you are educated,
And all I can say is that women from Kenya should look at you and pick up many, many leaves from what you ladies do. Because despite all the challenges that you are facing, we should all borrow a leaf from you and your tenacity.
Don't worry about the enemies, just remain focused.
My gratitude to the Ministry of Gender, Culture, Arts and Heritage for the unwavering dedication to fostering society where every voice is heard, every culture is celebrated, and every individual is valued.
They appreciated President William Ruto for appointing female leaders to top positions in government and committing to realization of 2/3 gender role. Reporting for Imani TV, I am Lynn. Women leaders from...
All right, now we are taking a short break here on Imani Television. We'll be back with much more. Stay tuned. We'll be much more with more items.
Africa.
What is your perception of Africa as a continent? What are your hopes and dreams for Africa?
1 billion people. 55 sovereign states, with at least 7 of these being the fastest growing economies of the world. But there is still so much untold stories that we are yet to be told.
Do you see your part in the development of this continent? Africa is a continent rich in resources, culture, talent, and the home of stories. Stories that bring joy, stories of resilience, strength, and a never-dying spirit that gives hope.
Voices of people who have pushed beyond limits to make positive change in the African society. Which is why I'll be bringing you African Vision Voices in line with Good News Productions Africa to highlight the heroes and the heroines of Africa together with African news content. My name is Francis Msakali. See you then.
Welcome back to News Hour here on Money Television. Now, some leaders in Nyanza region have raised concerns over the increase of insecurity following the emergence of gangs threatening the lives and property of people. These leaders are now urging the Ministry of Security to increase the number of police officers to patrol and maintain security. They were speaking at a fundraising event to support completion of the construction of St. Peter's ACK Church in Matungu.
You can not have young boys between 18 to 23 years killing people, mugging people, raiding people. They even kill police officers. The police has no problem. The police cannot patrol without fuel in the vehicle.
Yes.
The police cannot patrol without any facilitation. You cannot tell me that the whole of Siaya you have few patrol police stations. All our members of parliament have built police stations everywhere and police posts. But the level of insecurity is high because they are not well facilitated.
People are being killed in broad daylight, sometimes as early as 6 p.m., sometimes 7 p.m. And they can't actually walk freely in their own neighborhoods as a result of the skyrocketing levels of insecurity. So we are calling upon whoever is responsible, the Inspector General of Police and the Cabinet Secretary responsible for Interior.
Now moving forward, the government has issued a stern warning to some of the police officers in Vihiga County colluding with criminals to fuel crime in the county. It is reported that in the recent past, over 15 people have been murdered, with many operators and business persons. Government Deputy Spokesperson Mwanaisha Chizuga says that such police officers will not only lose their jobs but face the full force of law, where they will be transferred to different regions. The intervention comes following the complaints from Senator Godfrey Osotsi and Felix Watakila over the rise of crimes in the county. Let's listen in.
Kikulacho kingoni mwetu. Wale police officers ambao wamekaa for more than 3 years ndio wametuletea matatizo ya kusema usalama katika kaunti. Kwanza hao ndio wanashirikiana usiku sako kwa mchana wetu bodaboda. Hao ndio wanachukua hongo chimbwa mwibona.
Wale maafisa wa usalama walio hapo wanafikiria kwamba nitapigwa transfer nipeleke mgonjwa kwa kwingine, tunawaambia pole sana. Unafutwa kazi mara moja. Na wananchi vile vile. Serikali, masuala ya usalama hatuwezi kufanya sisi peke yetu. Tunaomba ushirikiano wenu. Wanauza, wanaotengeneza.
Now on to other matters. Over 100,000 affordable housing units are under construction across various parts of the country. And the Lands Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome said that development will bridge the 2 million housing in the growing population in the urban areas and stop the fragmentation. The launch of the ministry's strategic plan for 2023 to 2027, the Cabinet Secretary said that the government has issued title deeds to all parcels of land by 2027.
To increase the aim of these interventions is to provide houses to low and middle income and create employment for over 1 million Kenyans. To support implementation, the ministry developed the Affordable Housing Bill 2023, which establishes the that will finance the affordable housing program to counter.
Now, as the government fights against illicit brew, a group in Uasin Gishu County is using different means to fight the vice. The group, dubbed Okolea Mlevi from Burnt Forest, has attracted over 100 members. The group, which comprises of both men and women, have revealed their ordeals with the substance to the fellow locals and advised them to avoid taking alcohol. Let's listen.
Mwenyewe nilikuwa mlevi for 15 years na nilipotoka nikasema sitanyamaza. Hii kazi lazima nifanye, nitafute marafiki. Huyu jamaa alikuwa ananipebanga na taksi huyu. Tukikuwa taoni, tukisunguka taoni. alikuwa customer yangu sana, na nilipookoka nikakumbuka huyu jamaa alinibeba na taksi, yeye ni mlevi bado. Nikasema sitanyamaza mpaka nitamtafuta wengine tuweze kukutana pamoja na tusemesane.
Ninawaonya wale wanaendelea kutumia pombe mahali walipo, ni hatari sana. Pombe iwezi ishi na mwanamke kwa nyumba. Kwa hivyo hata mimi sasa hivi napanga kupata mke mwingine kama itawezekana, kwa sababu yule simujui ako na wapi.
Dakika ya mwisho wazazi walizidi kuombea mimi, bali sikuwahi kubadilika. Walitoa pesa zao wakanipeleka rehabilitation 3 ambazo siwezi sitaja kwa sasa. Nikaenda rehabilitation hizo akilipa pesa, lakini baadaye yote yakawa hasara. Mimi nilifanya harusi ya kifahari ambayo sidhani kama mzazi yote angeweza kubali kutoa pesa kiwango hicho. Nilifanya harusi lakini haikumaliza muda kwa sababu ya ulevi na bangi na tabia ambaye ni chafu katika jamii. Kweli nilipoteza mke wangu na nikauza vitu vyote kwa nyumba. Muamini msiamini, niliuza.
Now on to some health matters, and as cancer continues to wreak havoc on millions, the stakeholders are now calling on all parastatals to engage in early research to prevent this menace from destroying the future of the As of late, there are increased cases of cancer in children. Isaac Sanya has more details.
Cancer continues to be a big problem to millions of Kenyans, and now it has raised a concern among stakeholders due to the high rate of discoveries among children. According to Dr. Robert Nyarango of Gertrude Children's Hospital, there is a need for early research to curb the spread of this vital disease among the children.
Number 1 is to create awareness about childhood cancer. And number 2 is to rally partners to come together to raise funds towards supporting the diagnosis and treatment of children with cancer.
Speaking during a 5-kilometer walk to raise awareness of the disease among children, other partners called for a combined effort from all stakeholders to help in the research, calling for more awareness among citizens on the need for early checkups, stating that cancer can be cured when discovered at early stage.
Through this initiative, it will help those people who don't have finances, who don't have money to walk this journey of treatment.
All the money that we will get, we put it together into a fund to help overcome some barriers to curing children with cancer in Kenya.
As research states, 80% of cancer disease can be cured when discovered at an early stage, giving hope to millions of Kenyans living with the disease. Reporting for Iman News Hour, my name is Isaac Sanyam.
Well done, Isaac. Thank you so much for that item. And the item concludes our news coverage for tonight from our news desk. Stay tuned to Imani Television, the premier channel that builds our faith in Jesus Christ, to get more continued update and spiritual awakening programs and informative updates, as well as entertaining music. My name is Barasa Saenyi, and on behalf of our dedicated production crew here, we extend our heartfelt gratitude for tuning in tonight. See you tomorrow.
to Imani Guest Houses, your perfect home away from home. Our spacious guest rooms are designed to provide you with ultimate comfort and relaxation, complete with hot showers and free Wi-Fi. Enjoy mouth-watering meals served in our charming dining area with friendly staff at your service. Rest assured that your vehicle is safe and secure with our ample on-site parking space. Unwind in the serene outdoor terrace while enjoying the scenic surrounding, and our friendly staff is always on hand to ensure your stay is nothing short of amazing. Located along Webuye Kitale Road opposite St. Joseph's Boys High School and 1 kilometer from the Kitale Airstrip, it is uniquely located at Imani Radio Ministry Campus near the airstrip and highway. Contact us on 0796 035561 or 0713 093354. Book your stay at Imani Guest Houses today and experience the ultimate comfort and relaxation in this beautiful region.